Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers, Facebookians. Welcome to another edition of Living Simply and Fun. I'm your host, Aries, aka Rita, and there's Aaron. Today we're going to be talking about negativity and positivity.
Negative and positive reinforcement, particularly with raising children. I don't have children of my own yet. Maybe one day. I don't know. Neither does Rita. But we have some ideas on how to best raise children. Of course, a lot of people have what they consider good ideas, and maybe ours are good, maybe they're not, but I have a feeling that they're pretty good. It's part of what I think was wrong with my life and a lot of other people's lives, too. I thought about this because of reading somebody's post, and I don't know what actually made me think about it, but when it comes down to it, when you're raising children, that you can either tell them that they can do something or you tell them that they can't. For instance, when I was a kid, I wanted to play pro baseball. I was certain I was going to be able to play pro baseball. My dad kept trying to destroy that dream. He kept telling me, "No, you're never going to be able to. You're too big. You're too fat. You're too slow. You're not an elitist. Your parents aren't, yuppies in the town, and you're never going to make the high school baseball team. And because your parents aren't part of the school board, and you're not going to make the baseball team, you're never going to get the scholarship. And because your parents aren't connected with certain people and they haven't been in the sports world, you're not going to be looked at." You always had to tell me all the negatives of everything in my dreams that I ever wanted to do, no matter what it was. And,
Aaron, you're not going to be worth a hill of beans, just like Rita.
So I kept giving up on my dreams, kept giving up on my ideas and my goals and my plans. And I think that what he needed to do as a parent was to enforce me positively and say, you want to do that, fine. Go ahead and do that. I'm sure you can do it. Good for you. You'll do it. You want to play baseball? Then heck, we're going to have to make sure that you're part of the local team, and we're going to have to make sure that you get practice in. If you need a gym or something to work out with, we'll find a way to get you one, even if you got to work some odd jobs and get it. I'll take your checks and set it aside so I make sure that you're going to get what you need. There was all sorts of things he could have done. And then he could have said, but just as a fallback, make sure that you do good in school. Just as a fallback, make sure that you have something else. And he could have done some research of his own and said, well, look, this player, there's a guy who was an honors student, and I don't know which basketball team he plays for, but his last name's Okafor. I'm not a big fan of basketball, but I do know that he was essentially very upset to get anything lower than a B in class. He was, a scholar. So my dad could have found other sports heroes, people that I could have looked up to, and said, look, this person's got a bachelor's degree in this. This one's got his doctorate in that. This one's still going to school, even though he's playing pro sports during his off seasons. Blah, 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 blah. A lot of that information is out there, and it's not too hard to find. And that would have been positive reinforcement to say, don't put all your eggs in one basket, instead of just saying, your dreams are never going to happen. And there's all sorts of other positive and negatives that you could work with people with. I know somebody who's wanted to rough it in Alaska. Great idea. I think that it's a good thing, but at the same time, I don't know as...
He likes to tear down people's dreams.
No, I don't, actually. I like to be
said
positive.
Alaska or Montana, but that's beside the point.
The only thing I've ever tried to say is, we don't like the cold now and we have a heater. So can you imagine what's going to happen when you're in a log cabin with the best thing that you got is a wood-burning stove and it's freezing cold? And maybe your wood's all wet because of melted snow. You can't get the fire going. That's why you keep it
covered. But
you can't keep everything covered. You don't have the space. But at the same time, yeah, you want to do it. Let's get some books on how to do it. Let's find out information. Watch videos. Do whatever you can to do the research if you want to do it. You're going to have to learn to plant crops. You're going to have to probably grow a garden on your balcony for a while so that you actually know that you can
we're
garden.
allowed to.
We can. All we have to do is get something like our table and put some flower beds in there and just grow some vegetables.
My stepfather was just like his dad in many ways. I wanted to, at one time before I was disabled, I said I wanted to be a pilot. Well, your eyeballs are bad. I wanted to be a railroad engineer. You need to know mathematics and blah, blah, blah. You can't do it. Your eyes are bad. I wanted to run on and be a captain of a cruise liner. You're bad. You can't even use this, that. You'd sink the ship. Your eyes are bad.
Yeah.
It's all the stuff I got negativity.
My only negative response to Rita about going and living out in the wilderness is the fact that there are no hospitals nearby. There are no doctors nearby. And her family has a history of heart problems. So you end up 100 miles away from the nearest city, or even 30 miles. By the time that somebody can get back into the country that you live in, where there are no paved roads, you're probably already going to be dead.
Yes, exactly. And that's,
but
we're not talking about Alaska in general. This is just...
well, you've talked Montana, too, but it
yeah,
could be
but
just
hold
as
on.
bad.
I'm going to say, you got to also look at reality, too. So, and we have viewers that will be watching this wondering what the hell. We have 2 people that subscribe to us that's going to be wondering if we've lost it when it comes to it. We're talking about negativity and positivity.
Yes.
Instead, he's sitting there talking about reality. Maybe that's
I've actually only mentioned one thing that I've ever used as negative reinforcement with her on that, because it's so easy to think, well, roughing it's great. I'm going to be healthier. Yeah, you're going to be healthier. You're going to be doing a lot more work. You're going to be eating better, possibly, because... well, you're going to be burning off all those calories, and you're going to be eating mostly vegetables.
Yeah, and sometimes you'll be starving, like in this one show we're watching.
And
also
on top of that, you got to remember that hunting is only done during certain seasons now, and even if you're roughing it, you still got to follow the laws of the seasons, or you can get in trouble.
Exactly.
So, you're pretty much stuck fishing only during fishing season. So. And you still have to have your licenses and everything.
Yes,
and
exactly.
That can be rather hard to get if you're 30 miles away from the nearest city. There's some reality there, but at the same time, I keep telling her, you can do it. We need to research everything about it, and know everything about it.
However, I will be negative on this for my own negative enforcement. The government's got so much greed that they had to come up with ideas to make money for each damn state, including licensing and stuff. But then again, if we didn't have licensing for hunting and fishing, then everything would be hunted and fished out. And then we'd all be going hungry if we did like fish and wild game. So in some ways,
that's true too.
But the licensing thing is just unfair.
It is, but it isn't.
Yes, I know. But you just got to take a look at it.
But as I was trying to make my point, though, back to the sports thing, had my dad actually encouraged me properly and everything, maybe I would have played pro sports, but maybe I would have gotten to the point I would have said, you know what, I'm just not as good as I thought I was, and I'm not going to ever play professionally. But you know what? I'm glad I listened to my family, because I got a degree now to back up things. Now, I didn't even bother with that, because my dad told me I was never going to be able to amount to a hill of beans, that I wasn't going to be able to go to college, that I was jeopardizing it all because I didn't care enough about high school. I didn't have a bad average in high school. I could have gone to college. But I was convinced that I wasn't going to, that was destined for other people who were better than me. So, always remember to, when you're teaching your kids, or your kids have this dream, try to be positive with them. And if you do have any negative aspects, put it in a manner in which they actually can see it as, you're not just telling me no because you don't want me to do it. Because that's what causes kids to rebel,
I want
to
say, from an experience point of view on something else, talking about negativity, and this is, our time to discuss it. There's one thing in my entire life that I was put down from one of my sisters. My mom was positive on it. My mom said go ahead, and she embraced it. But my sister told me I wasn't going to look good as a genetic girl, or one that's had all the plastic surgery, that I should be male or I should die. And that's the way she put it. And I look at all these ones that have had the operations down below and stuff, and I have some regrets towards them because of the negativity my sister put on me. I mean, you see some of these girls, they've had all the work done, but guess what? They got a little curse themselves. They can't find anyone. No offense to being negative again.
Seems so much the case, but yeah. Anyways, I just wanted to bring that up about raising children and trying to use positive encouragement rather than negative reinforcement and stuff. There's really no reason to tell your kid that his dreams are stupid and he's never going to complete them because of whatever reason, or maybe not even giving a reason.
I have something else to say about positive.
Encourage them and tell them that they can, but try to find ways to show them that they shouldn't rely on that 100% without telling them you're never going to do what you want to do.
I just want to say on this positive negative reinforcement thing for children, don't coddle, I'm sorry to say if I'm using that word wrong, don't coddle your child to think they're going to be better than everyone else. Because then they'll get a swell head, who we're talking about.
I don't necessarily believe either that when it comes to children that you should sit there and, they did something wrong and you sit there and say, oh, who cares? Go play your video game. No, you could still tell them to go to their room and you could take their TV away from them. You can send them to bed without dinner. Oh, wait, I forgot. CPS could get involved then. This day and age has gotten really bad when it comes to that, but that's a thing for another day. And no, I do not encourage abuse of children. I went through it. I will never subject a child to what I went through. Never, ever, ever. But I'm in agreement, though, when my grandma spanked me. There was times where I deserved it. And
exactly. Same with me.
The difference between abuse and a spanking is abuse happens for no reason whatsoever. The child gets hurt because the dad or mother decided, I'm going to beat the hell out of something today. Hey, look, it's the kid. Whereas a spanking usually means you just did something really, really bad and you need to be punished for it now. There's a reason behind spanking. There is no reason behind abuse. But, again, as I said, that's a story for a different day, so please don't try to judge me on my viewpoints of abuse or no abuse at this point. I just wanted to say, if you're going to yell at your kid or send him to his room or punish him in some manner, make sure to have some form of punishment where the kid actually doesn't like it. Maybe he's got to go clean out the garage rather than play his video game, or maybe he's got to sweep the sidewalks near your house, or maybe you make him wash your walls or something. I don't know. There are always things that you can come up with that can be some form of punishment to your kid without it being abusive. Wash the dog. Maybe it's something that's not pleasant to him. Heck, even cleaning their room for a kid tends not to be pleasant. So you can always tell your kid, you're not coming out of your room until it's clean. Yeah, so anyways, that's a totally different type of positive negative. I'm talking about when it comes to the child's dreams and wishes and wants and things like that. But that's all I got to say for now.
I have nothing to say because, he did all the talking again.
As always.
And like I said, you just don't want to be tore down. I mean, I've had my certain goals too, like being transgendered, being told I look ugly and not attractive. And for my sister, that was negative. My mother embraced that, but that's a different, that's being tore down. Or what you're doing for when you want to be growing up, like little children and stuff. And
I'll tell you why I talk more than her usually on this channel. She's got her own channel, and I don't use my own channel. And this is usually my one time to do a video talk, and so I tend to be kind of the center of it because I got so much to say, and usually she's asking me my opinions and thoughts anyways to help make these videos. So I do a lot of talking, but she's got her own channel where she does all the talking. So
yes, so
except for when I butt in.
Please add and subscribe if you like. Please post
suggestions,
comments.
Ideas.
Please add us as a friend. Please subscribe and please post suggestions or comments in the box. I'd like to get that out of the way, but every time I tried, he kept interrupting. So, good night. May God bless the world, and may God bless the United States of America.